San Antonio. Welcome back to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here this evening at the home studio to have a really great conversation with a band out of Dallas. The band called MurderFM is here. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here.
Yes. Thanks, man. Good. And we make no promises about this actually being a great interview.
How you doing, J6?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us here.
It's a great thing to have you guys here. I'm glad that we finally got all the logistics worked out. I know you guys drove in from Dallas today, but definitely I wanted to get you guys in front of the show. You know, and a lot of people out there know too that I go way, way back with you guys. Norman, way back, Super Soul, El Paso, way back.
Dude, I'm talking, what, like 16 years old?
Wow.
Yeah, dude. And when we say way back, we mean way back. I was breaking into the White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Rick Scarafa was wanting to hit me with his flip-flop. You know what I mean? Because I was, yeah, dude. I mean, that's how far back we go. So it's really cool that, like.
That was the old Norman, though.
Yes, when I incited riots and had to roll out before I got in trouble. Yeah, good old days.
Yeah, so it's been a long time, and J6, you know, you're from the Alamo City, so people know you here. But now you guys, you know, when I first found out about you guys working together and putting together this new band called MurderFM, I think there was a lot of people who initially had garnished a lot of interest in the band just because of that collaboration and knowing the history of your musicianship in this state. So let's start there, Norman. There's going to be a lot of people tonight who for the first time are hearing about MurderFM. Talk a little bit about how you started this band and, you know, what was your vision for MurderFM?
Well, I was doing the Never Enough with Keith and Trevor of 18 Visions, and Keith was also in Throwdown, and they'd been kind of tired of doing that whole thing for years. With Never Enough, we basically fell through the cracks with E1 and Koch Entertainment. Like, the deal was switching over, distribution was changing. Keith was just tired of touring from his years in Throwdown. 18 Visions had been through the ringer with Epic. And I had been writing a ton of new material, and we had just worked with producer Bo Hill. Kind of took me under his wing, was mentoring me, and was like, you know what, you really need to get this record out.
That dude's big time.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't, might not know the name Bo Hill off the top of their head, but big time producer back in 80s rock and stuff like that.
I mean, he did 50 million records at least. Started Interscope Records, worked with Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan. I mean, so when he says, dude, I really think you should do this, like, I had to jump on that. So I did, and I was like, well, I got all these songs. Jay and I had actually done a Psycho Plague show together.
Plague reunion.
Wow.
Bones got me to play guitar.
Definitely.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, dude, down, where was it?
McAllen. Yeah, we took it down to McAllen.
Wow.
So we did a benefit show out there, and Norman was the recruiting guitar player. So yeah, we knocked it out. It was cool. It was very cool.
And that's when we kind of like had that moment of like, dude, we should totally get together. And it just kind of started, you know what I mean? And he threw the name out there and started the material. We stole Matt from his band. You know what I mean? We make him shut down everything he does. So he hates us for it. He's giving me the eye right now too. Y'all can't see this, but I'm getting the eye while we're talking. So yeah, man, I mean, you know, we got, and here we are, you know, fast forward 2.5 years later. I mean, there wasn't much to how it started. There was just kind of, we were in frustrating places musically of like, we wanted to keep revving it up, and the bands we were in didn't really want to turn up the heat anymore because it's a hard business now.
It is.
You know what I mean? And it's very, very difficult.
I think one of the things that really intrigued me as well is that not only you know, the relationship and the history that we have, but just knowing both of you guys individually. I know that you're both very passionate about what you do, but I think even one step further that you guys work very hard. And I know, Norman, especially you work very, very hard at what you do. And I've known that for a long time about you, and that's one of the reasons that I've always kind of supported you and kind of been interested in you and what you do. So musically, MurderFM is rocking. I love it. I love the tracks. Talk a little bit about what you're delivering musically.
We're definitely, with We the Evil and stuff and all the new material coming out past that, we had to take some time to grow organically as a band, you know what I mean? And with Brandon being like our drummer, it was like a thing of, I had done the tracks on the first like demos and stuff, but it was like we needed to be a band, and I didn't want to rush a lot of that, you know? I didn't want to rush putting out a record. I didn't want to rush doing all that sort of stuff because we needed to get the miles on the road behind us. We needed to like click as a band. I needed to see where we were. Like, I had to write and think the way Matt would play. I had to write and think the way, like, okay, how is Brandon gonna like do this? Like, I needed to we needed to bond, you know what I mean? So it had to be like an organic thing, because it started with the two of us, but it's now like a band. It's not me, it's not Jay, it's not any one of us individually. It's that we had to grow. So the stuff got heavier, you know, because Brandon's a great drummer, like Matt's a metal guitar player, and I had to mold that into like, all right, how can we still make this something that's like, I'm an arena rock dude, I work with Bo, like I love big choruses, I love big riffs, I hate whiny little singers with their swoopy hair, you know what I mean? So it's like, how do we turn that into like a monster of its own and still be identifiable without also, you can't really reinvent the wheel, you know what I mean? You only put your own rims on it, you know? So the stuff's heavier now, it's darker, it's got the big choruses, and it's, I mean, I think it's some of the best stuff that I've put together without trying to be cliche about it. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, this year we've seen the release of We the Evil track, and I know that you've released singles the past few years, and you have one LP under your belt, which I don't really want to discuss because that's old, but I think people who follow the band are kind of ready for a full length. So when is that going to happen? Can you talk a little bit about what your plans for the full length, when it's going to come out, like how many tracks it's going to have? Is it kind of, you know, still in the vein of you know, some of the old stuff with some of the new stuff? Is it more just all new stuff? Talk a little bit about that.
No, it's going to be all new stuff. I mean, basically Matt's going to write the whole album, and then I'm just going to take all the publishing on it and say it was my deal. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I mean, that's how we do it. Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, welcome, buddy. You're in. No, it's all along the vein of, like, We the Evil on up. I mean, that's probably going to be, like, I'd say the mellowest track of this stuff, because I really want to kick it up. You know, again, because now we've identified with who we are as a band. We release the singles because, unfortunately, the climate of the industry is that people don't buy records as much as you want to say that they do. Like us hardcore fans, like,
they did.
Yeah, you know, I'll go to the store and buy a record because that's how I roll. I'll go spend $20 on a reissue of Kiss Destroyer vinyl because I'm just like, dude, yeah, I've already got it, and I've got it on my iPod, and I have the original version, and I have my parents' 8-track, but it's fucking Kiss, dude, and like, I want the vinyl. You know what I mean? So also we didn't have the avenues to do that. When We the Evil premiered with Revolver magazine, that kind of changed the game for us because the popularity of the band, I mean, just went over the hump, dude, and that now has presented and opened the floodgates for us to have these avenues. I mean, we've got, the industry wants to pick up on MurderFM now, and now we have a reason to put out this record. Now we have a place for it to go rather than collect digital dust, you know what I mean? Sit on iTunes forever and get like 100 downloads, you know what I mean? I mean, it's just very, very different. So we're going to be releasing the new record hopefully by the end of the year. I mean, but not in the end of the year. We're hoping by like September, October.
And some of these songs have been in the making for the last 8 years, maybe even 10 years, and then some of them are going to be newer. But yeah, it's some of these, we just can't wait to release a lot of the stuff that we've had in the vault. We'll just post them out, you know what I mean? Right. So hopefully with that vault, yeah. It's gonna come out and it's gonna be wild.
So talk a little bit about logistically, like who is gonna produce this record, or where y'all gonna record it, things like that.
Bo and I are probably gonna end up producing the majority of it, like in an umbrella, but the real big goal is actually to get a big mixer, you know what I mean, like Andy Sneap, Terry Date, like that kind of situation, you know what I mean? Because we really want to gear a lot of those drum tones and those guitar tones towards like Killswitch Engage type stuff, like Deftones, you know what I mean? When they came out with, what was it, Mild Summer? What was that second record? Around the Fur.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Terry Date, like, dude, like that's the thing that we want to do. Like, we can put our records together now. Like, we've reached that level of being able to do that. Business people that we've been talking to, they have that faith in the band. Creatively, you know, but definitely like on a mixed level. I mean, we're gonna go all out. It's gonna be big time stuff, or not at all.
Any title that you can share just yet? Is that too soon?
Too soon.
Okay.
Too soon.
You know, we actually sit around and be like, what do you think? What should we do? What should we call it?
Yeah, so just kind of pull it out our ass last minute.
So, something like that.
Well, I'm sure once it's out, the word will spread rather quickly. So let's talk about Roadwork. You guys, like I mentioned earlier, drove in from Dallas today. What was the show like last night? What's this little run been like for the band?
It was awesome, actually. We did Dallas last night. Man, it was crazy.
Big D.
It was the
but
Big
not
D.
the D.
It was really, really cool. Amazing bands that we played with. And of course, it brings us back together as a family.
Right.
Once we hit the road, it's like, all right, we get the brotherhood back together.
Right.
So on the way over here, and again, just clowning around, doing our thing, and listening to.
Picking on me.
We got to pick on somebody, you know what I mean?
Up on me.
But it's been good. You know, it's been good. And then of course, San Antonio is my hometown, and they all love us here. So it's gonna be good tonight as well.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we do another Texas City and Beaumont.
Yeah.
And then right after that, we should be nice and fresh for when we do a Hailstorm.
We'll be
Nice.
do a couple shows with
Hailstorm and Young Guns, which I'm psyched on because I love Young Guns. I don't know if you've heard of Young Guns, but I'm going to plug them because I love them.
Where are they
From the UK.
Oh, no.
And I caught them when we were on tour out there.
Wow.
I was just like, I love this band.
Wow.
And I mean, of course, playing with Hailstorm, that's going to be awesome, you know?
As we enter, actually the summer for 2013, so as we look at the second half of the year, are you anticipating, more road work aside from, some of these shows that you're doing, or are you going to really just kind of more focus on completing this record?
It's going to be road work. It originally was supposed to be like finishing a record, but the way the business has changed for us, we're going to do a lot of road work. We've got West Coast swings being worked on right now, Midwest, which is going to be interesting because the last time we were in that direction was a blizzard. The biggest blizzard in like 50 years. Of course, my luck. So it's going to be cool to go back and do that. But a lot of road work and a lot of finishing up the record. So that's where someone coming in to be a mixer is going to be cool because we're basically going to throw the songs out there and then be like, we're going on tour, make it amazing, we got to roll. So definitely a lot of road work for summer.
So tonight, when fans check out the band at Corova, are you guys playing some of this new stuff, or is it you just kind of keep it in secret until the record comes out?
There's a couple new tracks in there. Like we've tried to weed out a lot of the old stuff, but it's really hard to take out something like "As Beautiful as You Are," which was our first song that blew up top 10 in UK. It's hard to take out "Machine Gun Kisses" because it landed on Rock Band 3, and it's like, are we gonna be that band? Are we gonna be the band that's like, don't play the stuff that people like because that's artistic of us? You know what I mean? So, I think the time is right, especially on the longer headlining tours and stuff, to really like, you can space things out where you can put the familiar tracks with the new tracks and you can keep the energy of the show going. It's very important too. You play a whole set of new songs and everyone's like scratching their head going.
And we do that a lot. Like we'll with the songs and the song set list, right before we're gonna go on, depending on the mood of the crowd or the venue, we're like, all right, well, how are we gonna start the song, or how are we gonna start the set? And we'll, as a band, we'll sit down and, all right, we're gonna do this, all right, and then we'll do it like that.
I try to act organized, but I really have no idea what we're doing. I mean, I don't know how many times I've looked at Matt or Brandon and been like, what's the first line to that song? And like the curtain's opening and the lights are black and they're like, I'm like, I don't know. It just kind of comes out and you're like, whew, made it again. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Keeps it fresh.
Well, that's great. I'm glad that you guys are going to be busy this year. Sounds like it's a very exciting time for Murder FM, and like all the hard work is really paid off. I also want to say that I'm a big fan of the new video for We the Evil. I think that was a killer video. I know you guys are proud of it. I think a lot of fans have also, of course, jumped on it too. Share a little bit about the success of the video, and also talk a little bit about the video medium itself. I mean, with the advent of YouTube and the popularity of all these internet mediums to share stuff like that, I mean, how personally important do you feel that video is for bands and out there in the marketplace?
I think it's probably one of the biggest cogs in the wheel, because again, every release that we've had with a single has had an accompanying video, because people are so visual. People don't really want to listen to music and not have that sort of like sensory stimulation. It's like I gotta watch the video to make sense of the song. I think We the Evil was really successful, not only because it was shot amazingly well, but the fact that Brandon and Jay's hair looks really good in it. And then Matt's makeup is extremely exceptional. So they're really like the look of these guys.
Wasn't he the first one to get killed in the video too?
Brandon? Well, it's like a scary movie, right? The hot chick always goes first. So you know what I mean? They took him out first.
And I think one of the things too that I've kind of noticed about you guys' videos is, I mean, you guys are a great live band. I think you guys are good performers. You can tell that you guys are seasoned performers. But this video, unlike some of the other videos, which incorporated a lot of the live performance, whether you're out in the desert or wherever you're doing it. This one kind of had that element, but also had the storyline behind it too. More of a, I think the storyline was really strong for this new video, and I think that kind of made a big difference.
It was simple to the sense that it was perfect.
Right.
So we didn't have to add too much stuff to it. It was just like, all right, this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna do it, and it came out perfect. You know, we didn't do too much of it, and that was the main point.
You know, I think a cool part too with the live footage was that we had a lot of people that were close to us, you know, at least where we shot it in Dallas. You know, like I had some of my students, we had like personal friends, we had like family members. So there's a real sort of like legitimacy to like the love and like the reaction in the crowd of the live shots. Like it wasn't staged in the sense that like, okay, you guys need to do this. I mean, it's like we're going to play the track, go off the hook, and like they went off the hook. I mean, I think what, first or second take, right? Like the kids started moshing. And the director was like, whoa, 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 like you're hitting the cameras on the rail. Like, I mean, like they were really bringing that, and that like, that transcends like through the screen. You know what I mean? You're watching it and you can just feel it because
you can feel that energy through that screen, and I think that's where everybody caught. Like, it's just so live and so energetic that everybody's like, oh man, I dig that video, and that's when that happened. They captured
the band's like.
It's kind of like almost like a semi-live kind of vibe to it, because I mean it was a video shoot, but still it was a performance, a live performance in front of fans.
No, it was. I mean, it was really real, and the director commented on it. He was watching the footage. He's like, it's crazy to me. Maybe you guys can't see it. He's like, but I see in their eyes. He's like, they're really into like your band, and like they genuinely like support you guys and like love you guys. And I was like, yeah, you know, we had a lot of people. That's why we didn't want to do the radio. The original idea was a radio contest thing with the Eagle 97.1. I want to get contest winners to fill the crowd. Right. And I was like, nah, man, like, I think I got a better idea. Right. Let's fill it with people that are close to us. So, yeah, you can, I mean, you feel it, dude.
So, you think video work is something that you'll continue to do? I mean, do you?
Definitely. I mean, YouTube now, we're at over, like, 230,000 views. Thank you, by the way. You know what I mean? That like it's I can only press play so many times before it stops counting. You know what I mean? And my mom can't work the internet very well. She still puts in goggle.com and then calls me and says, why doesn't it work? You know what I mean? So I know it's not her. So thank you all like very much, like seriously. But video is gonna be accompanied with the band probably every single that we do. Every probably full-length release that we have, we're gonna do some special DVD sort of thing.
What's cool is that we come up with the ideas most of the time, actually, and we get the input from like, you know, Brandon or Matt or
they're really good at that.
Yeah, they know exactly what. Like, all right, let's go for it. Let's have a video with all these kids and let's do it.
I write a song, I come up with an idea, and then I sign off. I mean, they really are like the three of you guys are like the visionaries in that sense. The imagery, the stuff. I'm like, I'm thinking of enough in a day, dude. Like, leave me alone. You know, and it's very instrumental in like the band progressing and going to the next level.
I think that one of the great things about video on the internet is that, of course, it's worldwide now. You know, you're not just limited to a particular region or market on TV. But you mentioned earlier the UK, and I know that you guys did a tour of the UK back in 2011, and you know have reached a certain level of acclaim in that part of the world. Is the UK someplace that you would like to return to, you know, soon, or are there plans for that?
Yeah, no, it's actually being worked on at the moment. That the interesting thing is that we were asked to replace. I was looking at your pictures and I saw Shadows Fall. We were asked to replace them on a bill recently with El Nino. That logistically didn't work out though because the band's numbers keep growing. Thank you, UK, by the way. So it's kind of becoming a thing of like every time we want to go back, it's getting bigger and bigger, so our agent's having to like rethink the whole thing. You know what I mean? And you're like, we've got to put this tour on another scale, but we'll definitely be back there probably twice already from what I've heard from our manager, like in 2014. I mean, we're going to go back there twice, probably maybe even December 2013. It's constantly in the works. But I mean, we have, dude. I mean, we've been in Kerrang! Magazine, which was another big thing. Because I remember reading, you know, our own stuff, and it's like to see it and to see the name run across there is amazing. And 2 top 10 videos out there on Scuzz TV. I mean, it's really, it's a trip, man, how it works out. Like, you know, because it's not tangible for me. It's like I have to grab something to believe it. So it's weird to me of like, where is this coming from? Like, who are these people? I don't understand it. You know what I mean? But it's awesome. So if I see you and I grab you at a show, That's why. I'm like, wow, you're real. Wow, or maybe you're not real, but either way, I still love you.
Also, I think, you know, when I mentioned earlier that you guys are a hard-working band, you also really, you know, drill down on a lot of the social media and connecting with people that way. You know, keeping the fans updated about your shows and new things that you have going on with the band. So for people, after they finish watching this, where can they go online to get the most information about Murder FM?
MurderFMmusic.com. That's where you're going to get it. MurderFMmusic.com. They have everything there. So from Facebook, Twitter, you know, MySpace, we're bringing it back.
Yeah, MySpace actually backing us up. How weird is that? Wow. We're like, yeah, we're on this list of bands that they want to be like the new face of like certain genres and things. So they made like We the Evil like an exclusive premiere.
It's gonna come back. So it's gonna come back hard.
Justin Timberlake's our boy, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and it's gonna come back in a big way. Watch out. You know what I mean? Update those MySpace profiles, cause like it's coming back.
Leverage all those relationships.
Remember your passwords. Everybody tends to forget their MySpace passwords. They're like, oh.
Let's you know, turn the page for a little bit. And Norman, I know that you know you've already, you know, at your age, have had a long career, you know, in staying active musically. You know, like you've never been gone. You've never, at least, you know, publicly. Yeah, I mean, you look really good.
I'm Asian. I really am. There's got to be some sort of like Asian DNA strand in me that's like helping me out over here. Right? I haven't really changed. It's weird.
He's got more tattoos.
Right? Yeah. I get better looking with age. No, I'm kidding. So imagine how ugly I was. I'm just kidding. 12 years ago when we met.
So yeah, I mean, you know, and part of that evolution as well is kind of, you know, you know, I've learned, if you know, now, you know, you're doing things behind the scenes as far as recording, and now as of late you have your own kind of music school going on in the Dallas area called the Sound Foundation. It's right there, people. Check it out.
That wasn't planned out either.
No, it was not. But the Sound Foundation is kind of like Dallas's kind of school of rock now. So talk a little bit about that. Why did you decide to venture in that area, and what's it been going? You know, how's it been going so far?
It's been going amazing, and I mean it needed to happen for me for multiple reasons. I had always kind of told myself, if I ever had the chance to like make it in music, like even in the smallest way, like I wanted to help the next generation coming up behind me, because in El Paso, as much as I love like my hometown where I was born, like I fly the flag for it, there's just not a lot of resources there. There's not a lot of things, and it was like, man, something as small as helping somebody with a guitar, their first guitar, a legit guitar, or their first real big show, or opening for us or whatever, you know what I mean? It was like, I want to be able to help them. I produce a lot of bands, and I'm like, wait, I'm producing a lot of these bands that are like my peers and my age, and they don't get it. So you know what? I should just start. I can't change their mentality. Let's go back a generation and start working on like someone who's, you know, you can still kind of like train them the right way. Yeah, you know, it's much more impactful. And at Dallas, there's just so many bands. There's so many like musicians. I mean, I have a ton of girls that are like musicians, you know what I mean? Bass players, singers, you know, all girl bands. I mean, and it's crazy, and I like empowering. Like I really do. Like it makes me feel good to be like, I'm behind that. And as long as I'm behind that, they're gonna do something. You know what I mean? Because they're just as important to me as my own projects. You know, and it feels great for me to know that they have a place that they can go, that they can learn, that they can record, that they can rehearse. I mean, we even have a venue in there that we put on shows, you know, and a lot of them, they just hang out. You know, it's not their band rehearsal time, and they're in there just hanging out with each other, and it's like it's like a just hangout. I don't even know what to describe it as. Like, it's a beautiful thing, but it had to happen because I was just frustrated in some ways with a lot of parts of the industry, that I'm like, I'm going to do my part to make sure the next generation coming up gets it. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand and empathize with how gratifying it is to impact young people's lives, and as a mentor, you know, and there's of course a sense of pride in being the Jedi Master, you know. Yeah, it's cool, and there's so, I guess, younger people are far more open and receptive to learning from. I mean, you're school of hard knocks. Unfortunately, when you were coming up, there wasn't any type of opportunity like that. And if there was, I mean, think about how that could have impacted your life.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I think about, and I'm like, man, I can't imagine like someone actually helping me instead of yelling at me, and actually saying, yes, come in, instead of being like, get the fuck out, like, what the hell are you doing, you know what I mean? And so with a lot of these bands too, it's like, I mean, we had 2 of them open for us in Dallas.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? I plan to take some of them on the road with us at some point, because it's that kind of stuff is what's really going to teach them, but they still have that safety net of like, I'm behind them, you know what I mean? And that's also very important to me,
right.
Well,
great. Much success with the Sound Foundation. I hope that I know that you will continue to get new students, and I hope this thing, kind of blows up for you.
I love it, and the biggest thing for me, just ending on that, is that we're making it ourselves right now. So it's like, that old saying, those that can't do, teach. It's like, really, dude, because I'm showing them in real time. Right. Like, I'm on the road going, dude, I just learned this today. I got to tell you guys this, when I get back from the UK, when I get off my tour bus, check out what I learned today. And the business and the model is ever evolving. That, like I said, people that are peers with us, they don't want to learn. They're stubborn. They don't want to be like, what do you mean it's changed? What do you mean social media? I'm like, dude, you've got to get with it. And even now, I'm like, there's new things popping up all the time that even these kids are already like, you're behind the curve. So they're keeping us informed. I'm keeping them informed. It's like, it's our little circle of life, if you will.
And it will all come back to y'all, in the future. So as we end out, anything I missed? Any last parting words that you want to share with people around the world who will see this interview, your fans or your peers? Anything you want to say or share?
Well, from the band, we thank you guys. We're grateful for everything that's happened for, like, when We the Evil and stuff like that, and we're very, very grateful, and thank you, honestly.
I can't thank you enough. I don't know who to thank because I don't know where you are.
Exactly.
or how you found us, but you did, and I mean, I can never have like enough appreciation, and as cliche as those sort of things sound, it really is for us, it's real, because like I said, we don't have a big major label promotion machine behind us. We have an awesome publicist, Lee, whoop. But I mean, we don't have those strings being pulled for us, so we know that it's organic. It's like when Metallica blew up, you know what I mean? With no radio, no anything. It's like, where are these people coming from? It's amazing, and it's a really cool time in our career right now. So thank you all, because we really wouldn't be doing it without you. It sounds cheesy, but it is true.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for making the effort.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. You're going to get on stage with us tonight, right?
Yes,
nice.
Oh, guys, thank you. I look forward to continuing to follow the band, and I will continue to support you guys.
Seems like you make it work for us. Seriously, so thank you, man. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. We love supporting the best bands and musicians that this state has to offer, and you guys are part of that, so thank you for coming to the MetalWorks and doing this interview with us. Remember, everyone out there, the brand new LP from MurderFM will be out later this year, God willing. Everybody say your prayers. Keep your eyes and ears open for them. They're all over Facebook and other mediums on the internet. You saw MurderFM right here, only on Rob's MetalWorks.